Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we're going to be watching a video by HAMZA who's talking about how to conduct yourself on the first date or how to get a first date. There's many young men in the world today who are not dating at all. They have no prospects, no chance of going out with a woman because the sexual dating market is fucked. Since we are connected to social media, all our lives are online. You might live in your whatever country you live in, but you exist and live your life out in on the internet. So the only people who are visible online are the people with a social media presence, people who are able to amass attention, amass fame. The only thing left for you to do is to stand out in this crowded marketplace, to rise to the top, build a social media following, build some sort of fame, some sort of leverage, be someone who is seen as someone important. And the best way to do that in today's world is to become a king, to build your kingdom, to live life like a royal. Because if you are a king, there'll be plenty of women who be lining up around the corner to date you, right? Women don't want to date some sort of peasant. They say themselves that, oh, I want to be treated like a princess. I want to be treated like a queen. And who do princesses and queens end up with? Well, with kings. So you have to have a kingdom. And the way we do it now is by becoming a subject matter expert, by building your kingdom, building a following. Because if you think you're going to work your way to the top through a job, AI is going to replace all jobs in the near future. AI is already here. It's going to displace a lot of the workforce. A lot of humans are going to be made redundant in the sense of that they have no use for them anymore. And if a man isn't valuable to society, if there's no use for him, if he's not capable of going out there and um, taking resources, gathering resources, then he's not really seen as a man. So therefore, it is your duty to yourself, to your ancestors, and your future lineage that you start to build your kingdom. So you can go on all the dates that you want. Once you are seen as a king, you'll no longer have to go hunting for pussy. You no longer have to go out and ask women out on a date. There'll be queues of gorgeous, beautiful women lining up to date you, wanting that spot next to you to be your princess, to be your queen. But that place is only reserved for those who are willing to put themselves out there on the line, put the balls on the line, and start to build a kingdom. You have to go through a spiritual war um, to battle and build that kingdom. You know, if you are interested in building a kingdom, then you can build it alongside me and the 100 kings that I'm looking for, who also want to live life at the top and live like a king. But let's get into this video.
Jeffrey's on a first date and I really hope it goes well for him. Jeffrey, she wants you to kiss her right now. Do it, Jeffrey. What are you waiting for? Why are you overthinking? Just put your hand around her and just go in. Jeffrey, just go in for the kiss before she loses her track. Jeffrey, you had her. Why didn't you just escalate? Adonis. Adonis is months. You never want to put yourself back into that bucket where she sees you as a Jeffrey again, right? This is the guide that's going to help you. This full guide is like a game plan to the next first date that you go on. It's going to help you to build like an authentic, loving connection with the girl. You would, and so let's create that. First of all, my name is HAMZA and I help young men go through the Jeffrey to Adonis transformation through...
So HAMZA, I believe his whole philosophy is that you to be attractive to women, to be someone in this world, you have to go through a process of self-improvement. Self-improvement is great, but there's plenty of people out there who don't have to go through a period of self-improvement to get dates, to get women. Self-improvement is by definition for losers. If you do all this self-improvement stuff because you think it will lead you to a better life, you're already starting in the wrong mindset, because If you are trying to improve yourself, by definition, that means there's something wrong with you. Okay. And no matter how much you try to do self improvement, no matter how much you improve yourself, it will never be enough, because you don't start from a place of where you recognize that you are already good enough to date. Do you get what I mean? Because that you're always going to feel like, oh, I lack this thing. Now, if you're doing self improvement, because you're really into working out, you're really into learning about XYZ subject, um, that's different. That's not self improvement. That's just intellectual curiosity, physical curiosity. See how much weight you can move. See how you do it for the joy of the competition. If it's football that you play or whatever. But if you're thinking, oh, I'm not good enough right now, let me do all this self improvement, then I'll be good. You're already fucked.
Self-improvement. Scroll down right now, go click on the subscribe button, and you'll join our movements. Part 1.
I mean, anyone who has to ask someone else to subscribe is like you're begging for followers, you're begging for pussy. It's like you're already fucked.
Prerequisites. Before you can even go on a date, before you can even message a girl to go on a date, there's some things you've got to do beforehand, and one of the most important things is lift weights. Get some fucking muscle.
Yeah. Overall, across the board, women like guys who work out. They're like athletic guys. But the image that he's using here, I believe this guy's called Ziz. And he's famous for taking steroids. So what you have to do a cycle of steroids, testosterone replacement therapy before you're allowed to date is bullshit, right? Like you if you were the skinniest motherfucker in the world, right? But you were born to lead, you were born to be a king. Would you have any problems getting a date, right? Think about Justin Bieber when he was like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy coming on the scene. He looked like he looked more like a girl than he did a man, right? He looked more like a scrawny girl than a muscular man, right? However, he had women lined up for him. Why? Because he was famous, right? And when you're famous, when you have some status, you're seen as a king. Okay, you're treated like you're something special. Okay, now obviously Justin Bieber had some sort of talent. He was able to sing. Um, you might have a talent, you might not have a talent, and you might think, oh, I don't have a talent, therefore I'm not good enough, therefore I have to work out, become muscular, take all these fucking steroids, and then get to the top. Well, work out if you want to work out. It helps. It won't hinder your results. However, you need to start working on building a kingdom. You need to start working on gaining a following, on being seen online, right? If tomorrow you were a skinny piece of shit, right, and you were the same person as you are now, but you had, you know, 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers on Instagram, do you think it'll be difficult for you to get a date, right? These people, they're trying to tell you have to do this first, then you can get the results. Whereas like, just build your kingdom, rise to the top now. Okay, do all those self-improvement things on the side, right? But build a kingdom, because if you are able to become famous, if you are able to have a following, you can then monetize that following, right? You can then gather resources. Once you have money and resources, right, people will start respecting you more. People will see that you are someone who's important just by virtue of the fact that you've got those things. And then all the opportunities come your way, the social opportunities, dating opportunities, girls be queuing up to have sex with you. Um, Money making opportunities, it would all just come your way, and then you're living life on easy mode, right? If you think like, oh, I'm a 15-year-old kid now, I'm a 20-year-old man now, I have to grind for 10, 15 years before I make it, is you're gonna just be miserable for all that time. Okay, right? Self-improvement, a big prerequisite to self-improvement is discipline and grinding. Okay, like hot girls don't want to be around someone who's disciplined and grinds, because that's not fun, right? You need to have a life of luxury. You need to cultivate that kingly spirit inside you, and then women will naturally want to be your concubines, want to be the queen next to you. and then you're in the driver's seat. You get to choose instead of trying to chase all these women with all these, like these people who take these steroids have body dysmorphia.
Some discipline from the gym. Now, if you're exercising, that's awesome. If you're like, going to the sports class and you're going on runs and stuff, that's nice. You've got to lift. Before I press record on this video, I was in the middle of a deep thought, and what I was thinking about was when I meet a young man who's not in shape, I automatically categorize him as a bitch. I can't help it. You can say I'm a
and he's saying that to get into your head. He's basically saying that because you don't go to a gym, you're a bitch. Right. Again, that example of Justin Bieber when he was 14, 15 years old. Do you think he had any problems getting pussy? Right. He was getting paid. He was getting pussy. Right. He didn't lift at the time. You can go back. You can Google pictures from him in whenever it was, like 2010, and he had zero muscle mass. I think he's still not muscular. Do you get what I mean? But he's married to a gorgeous young lady. And if he got divorced tomorrow, there'll be thousands of women queuing up, beautiful women, to try and take that spot next to him. So again, these people that try to misguide you, as I said, lifting weights doesn't hurt, right? But that's not the only thing that you need to make in this life. AI is taking over. There's already thousands of people, millions of people who lift weights who can't get any pussy because they spend all their time in the gym hoping that they can approach some woman. It's not. You got to rise to the top. You got to become a king, be seen as a king, and then the women will come.
bad person for this, but I'm just telling you the truth. That's just what my brain does. If I see you and you're a young man, you're either my age, I'm 26, or you're younger than me, and you don't have like defined biceps, you don't have a six-pack, I automatically think you're a bitch until proven otherwise. And this is the same with girls. If you look like fat or
I mean, look at that Neo guy, Neo, whatever his name is. He right. Obviously, a lot of women use him for clout, right? Like that, he gets abused. But like, if he had half a brain, looking the way he looked, he's still surrounded by beautiful women. Like he's arm wrestling with a girl. Most of you people, in today's society, young men, they're not even seeing women in real life anymore. Right? They're too scared to talk to them at school because they probably get Me Too'd. You know, so having muscles, all this shit is he's trying to sell you his lifestyle. He's trying to sell you his cause. Good for him, man. Like, you know what I mean? And if you want to go to a gym, go to the fucking gym, and it's good for your health. Right? It's good for your health. But for you to get girls, it's not the end all be all. Do you get what I mean?
weak, if they could literally like think to themselves, they could probably win in an arm wrestle against you, like let's say 3 times out of 10. They will put you in the Jeffrey category until you prove yourself otherwise. But when you're muscular, when you're jacked, when you look like a Chad, at least you've got the physique of one, automatically you start off and okay, fair enough, he's kind of sexy. And
yeah, but then you're just a Jeffrey with muscles, right? If he's using this Jeffrey thing, right? He thinking every guy with muscles is an Adonis. There's loads of people on steroids. If you go to any gym, there's loads of muscular guys, right? And they're all insecure losers. What's going on? Hang on.
And then you have to fuck it up. So basically, if you lift weights and you've got a muscular physique, you just start off with this way better first impression, which is your advantage. Be the guy that she could lust for. Do you really think, just be honest, do you really think she's at home at nighttime? She puts her hand down into her underwear and starts touching herself. Do you really think
he's really trying to squeeze your brain right now by making you feel inferior? He's really trying to make you think that you'll never get a girl. And in most cases, most of you won't, right? But he's really trying to fuck with your mind right now, thinking that, oh yeah, the girl that you like is at home fingering her bean, thinking about muscular men. She might or she won't. Most women would rather be with someone who's wealthy and is a king, who has some sort of status, some sort of resources. If you want to spend the next 10 years in the gym, right, building muscle before you even have sex with a girl, it's like, go ahead. But just remember that this guy is trying to get you to subscribe to his little channel.
She's visualizing a fat guy? Do you really think she's visualizing like a skinny guy who'd lose in all street fights that he'd end up getting into?
I mean,
Do you
look at
think
this other guy, Fuzi, right? Like I think he's even taking steroids. Do you get what I mean? Do you want to end up like that person? Do you get what I mean? You want to take steroids and then run around on camera screaming and fighting with Neon?
she's visualizing a weak man? What kind of man would she be thinking about when she's touching herself? He's gonna have a six pack. He's gonna be lean. He's not gonna be fat. He's not gonna be skinny. He's not gonna look like a chump. He's gonna have confident body language. He's gonna have good posture, which is built from doing deadlifts and bent over rows and face pulls in the gym. You've got to get into the gym. If you haven't already, this is the single greatest step to feeling like more of a masculine man. Many of your friends might not be in the gym as hard as you are. Make sure you fucking put in the.
I mean, yeah, the examples he's showing is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Do you get what I mean? He 3 times Mr. Olympia. Yeah, did he get a lot of girls? Probably, but he's also taking a lot of steroids, right? Like, is that the life you want? You want to just juice up for the rest of your life before you get to speak to a girl?
Work. Every guy who is my age wishes if we only could have started 3-5 years earlier than we actually did. I got into the gym at 17. It changed my life forever.
Do you get what I mean? Like, if muscles was enough, then you know what? Think about it. Why is he building a YouTube channel? Why is he trying to get more subscribers, more following? That is the single most important prerequisite to dating hot women, right? It is building fame, it's having social status. Muscles and that, they're all great. But if he's saying that this is the most important thing, right, to getting girls, it might be the most important thing for your health, right? It might be the most important thing for your health. But is it the most important thing for the girl? There's no, like, if you have a skinny guy, right, with a large following and a lot of money compared to a muscular guy, right, she's gonna choose the better lifestyle, right? The guy who's more famous. So you need to build your kingdom, because if you was to build your kingdom, you'll be seen as a king automatically. You'll be, people will treat you different, treat you more special. Right now you might be a nobody, but don't you want to get treated like a somebody? Think about muscular guys, who are bouncers, right? They stand outside the club, right? They check your ID, and all the hot girls go into the club. They don't just hang out. Oh, finally found a hot guy. It's like, no, they know that the rich guys, the more famous guys, are inside the exclusive club. Okay, so his prerequisite, right? I'm sorry, is bullshit.
Have a top 1% natural physique out of all men in the entire world. In general, every single room that I walk into, I look like the strongest, fittest, most sexiest guy.
Yeah, and if you build a lot of muscles, right, you think you're gonna get a lot of compliments from girls. It's like you're gonna get more compliments from guys, right? So if you wanna have a lot of guys chat you up, then it's the best thing to build a lot of muscles. I mean, look at his pictures with his top off. Like there's guys walking around like staring at him. It's not girls staring at him.
In there. Every now and then there's like a Chad who absolutely mugs me, fine. But in general, on average, I have the best physique out of every room that I walk into, including even often in the gym as well. Think about the level of confidence that gives me when I go up to the sauna and I walk in there shirtless, where the other guys are there, and basically all of them are either flabby.
So you just walk into sauna with random guys. Again, if you was famous, if you had a lot of money, you could build your own sauna. Then you wouldn't need to go to the peasant sauna. Do you get what I mean? So you can show off your muscles in front of other guys.
Or they've got like subpar physiques. You can tell they don't train much, they drink alcohol. And I come in with a six-pack and pecs and thick arms and shoulders with a nice jawline and confidence. Along with this, another prerequisite, which you're not gonna like, because young guys don't like hearing this, you've got to do some fun shit, bro. You've got to actually have a
Now that's more important. You got to be a fun person to date, right? Girls don't want to date a boring person. If all you do, and this is what happens to a lot of people who go to a gym, because like they're so skinny, they're so out of shape that it takes a lot of time for them to become muscular, to get this dream physique that he's talking about. The amount of time it takes and the amount of discipline it takes, you're gonna have to give up a lot of fun to do that instead, right? So then you become more of a boring person, right? In order to chase this goal of building a muscular physique in order to date women. But then you finally get the physique, and then you realize that you're a boring fuck. And then nobody wants to date you anyway. Then they might look at you, think, oh yeah, you're very attractive, and then they speak to you for 5 minutes, and then they walk off thinking, oh, let me talk to a more fun person. Do you know what I mean? And then the skinny guy, right, who hasn't lifted, but he's developed a personality, he's developed charisma, he knows how to speak to people, comes along and takes your girl. And then what are you gonna do then, right? And then you're gonna have to spend more time developing a personality. It's like, well, if you was to establish your kingdom, if you was to start become on your path to becoming a king, along the way you have to develop communication skills, more charisma, and then naturally you become more of an attractive person because you have the ability to speak. You become a more captivating person. People eyeballs are at you, and when you have a lot of attention, when you understand how to hold people's attention, people will start following you, right? And then if you can do that online, you amass a following. When you have a large following, you naturally become more attractive because people are, oh, that person must be someone important. I don't even know what the fuck he does, but he's got 30,000 followers. He must be someone important. Okay. And then women will just queue up waiting to date you anyway. And then if you decide you want to build some muscle, build some muscle. Okay. But right, they're not mutually exclusive. It's like you can, right, like people who lift that, there's loads of people who lift who never end up dating any women, right? Because they live such boring lives that nobody wants to be with them in the end.
Fun life so that you can invite girls into.
How did he get a fun life? You know, he built his YouTube channel, right? He started making money from his YouTube channel, right? He then was able to pay for cool shit, right, to start having a fun life. He got a following on social media, and then he was seen as someone who's important. Then he started getting dates, right? The body helps, right? The body is a separate thing that is part. It's not part of his personality, right? The ability for him to communicate online and have a following is what makes him attractive.
The fun. So many young guys complain about not being able to attract girls, and the reason why is because you're literally just boring. Now,
it's not even that you're boring, it's that you're not famous, right? If you were famous, you would have more time to do fun shit.
if you are like a model, if you are like an absolute Chad, fine. You don't even need to be a funny guy. But if you're like literally
No, it's true. Like, even if you're a Chad but you're boring, that you're gonna get cheated on.
more of an average guy, you're like 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. You need to have some kind of fun plans during your week.
And look, he's saying you need to have fun during a week, and then he's here in a pool in, I don't know what country, Hawaii, Bali, wherever he is. Yeah, he's in an infinity pool in some fancy country, and he's telling you to do fun stuff during the week. But when, like, if he's telling you to go to the gym, right? It's what you need to do instead. You need to start building your kingdom. You need to start treating yourself as a king. See yourself as a king. If you're interested, what I'm trying to do here on this channel is I'm looking for 100 people who understand what I'm saying, who understand that there is no other way of dating in today's society. Is that you have to be seen as a king. And the elites, they want you sexless. They want to just plug you into the metaverse. They don't want you to succeed in life. And AI is coming to take your jobs away. So you're going to be left with fuck all, right? The only thing that's left for you to do, and there's a short window of opportunity that you have before AI can replicate human content that we make. You can go online and you can go online and you can start building your kingdom.
Because you've got something to talk about. You've got these stories. When you're meeting a girl on a first date, you can tell her, oh yeah, so I was at this restaurant with my group of friends.
See, but if you already he's talking about a frame where you're chasing the girl because you have to take her out on a date, and you have to attract her with your muscles. You have to have these cool stories. You have to have an interesting, fun life to impress the girl, right? It's the wrong frame. It's like if you were king, there's nothing you need to do for a woman to want you, right? Because a woman recognizes that this person is a king, right? He has the highest status in this place. He has the highest status amongst the people that I have access to, right? This is a woman's thinking, right? And automatically she'll be like, well, he's the guy that I'm best off with. Okay, he's my best option, right? And then the girl whatever you do, whatever you talk about, you might talk about fucking mangoes, and she'd be like, "Oh my god, the guy's so passionate about mangoes. Like, I just love the way he talks about mangoes." It's like, yeah, do you know what? Like, because of him, mango is my favorite fruit now too. Um, you'll see women change their whole behavior just to mold themselves to be the perfect woman for you, right? And all this bullshit about you having to do stuff, right? You having to impress the girl, you having to have these cool stories, you having to have this fun life, you having to have all this muscle, all this shit. It's irrelevant, right? What the number one most important thing that you can do is build your fame, right? Everything else falls into place after. Now, there's several ways you can build your fame, right? You can do what this guy done, become um, a self improvement YouTuber, or or you can decide to become a subject matter expert in something that is of interest to you. See, what I help my clients do is I help them find something that they are very passionate about, so it becomes very easy for them to work on. Because the last thing you want to do is do something for the rest of your life that requires discipline, requires you gritting your teeth, trying to motivate yourself to do it. Whereas, like, if it was something that you're truly passionate about, it's very easy for you to do, and then we make you into the expert in that thing that you are passionate about.
And one of my friends, Sarah, my female friend, she said this, and that was all funny, haha. And the girl you're speaking to is thinking, oh, okay, so he's got a group of friends, he does social things, he can afford to go to restaurants, and he's got a female friend. Oh, okay, he's more attractive now. This is why I created the Adonis Protocol, which is like a complete self-improvement plan for young men, and it includes the
So all these young men are going to take this protocol, and then you have a generation of Adonises. Um, and then who's the girl? Who are the hot girls going to choose then? Out of all these Adonises, well, they're going to take the most famous Adonis, right? So just being a Chad or an Adonis or whatever reference he's trying to use is not enough. You need to amass fame. All the people online who are selling you all these courses, like, what are they? What do they all have in common? They're all famous people online. Okay, you're taking advice from famous people, right? Isn't it? Doesn't it make more sense for you to become a famous person, so then you can reap all the benefits that they talk about, instead of I'm going to buy their gym program, or I'm going to do this course with them.
you go on to a weekly adventure and also a weekly date with girls, and it also includes the workout routine that I think young men should be on. It's the top link in the description. Go click that right now to go get the Adonis Protocol.
I mean, yeah, in that picture, there was no girls there. It was all
Part
guys.
2, asking her out. I just made an entire texting video where I spoke about like how to text girls and how to actually invite them on a date. So I won't repeat myself. I'll just have like some kind of card pop up. And to be honest, I'll probably forget to do that. It's on my channel. It's just called like how to text girls or something. Just go and watch that for this part. Part 3, the start of the date. So now let's actually break down exactly what you're going to do. So remember, the first 2 parts that I briefly just covered are very important, and I guarantee you're gonna have like a drink or something, slightly break your diet, but it's okay. So you're gonna see her there. The first thing you do when you see her is go in for a big hug. The reason why,
I mean, in today's climate, a lot of these people are autistic. They don't even know how to have a first date, and he's telling them to go in for a hug with a girl. It's like, if you don't have the right energy, if you're not capable of doing it, it's going to come across weird and creepy. So you already creeped the girl out before your date started.
is because this establishes the physical connection straight away. I've seen guys who meet for a date and they'll awkwardly walk up to the girl, not sure
Yeah, most guys are going to do what this guy's doing, right? They're going to do a meek little awkward hug.
if they should hug or not, and they kind of like stand next to her with their hands down by their side, and they're like, oh hi, yeah, and they're not even like looking towards her as well.
The thing is, if you were a king, if you come up with, the thing is, if you are a king and if you've got a kingdom, right? The girls that want to date you, they already know everything about you. Okay, so they've already in their mind fucked you before you've even turned up, right? And then you don't have to do this weird little hugging thing. Are you going to do an awkward hug, a side hug, right? You don't have to do any of this, because the girl is there, like, she's already decided she's going to fuck you before you turn up. And why? Because she sees you as a king, right? If you have the royal instinct, if you have that royal calling, if you believe it's your destiny to be a king, to be someone important, then you need to start building your kingdom. If you don't know how, I can show you how to do it. Go to royalinstinct.com, and we can work together to find out what your unique angle in life is, how to make you a charismatic communicator, how we can get you to rise to the top, how we can get you to build your kingdom and be seen as someone who's important, so you can have the dating life of your dreams, what you always wanted, so you don't have to do all these awkward approaches, so you don't have to do all this, you know you don't have to do 10 years of self-improvement before you're able to have whatever it is that you want, right? The most important thing in today's society is that you are seen, that you are someone who has a following. And if you understand why that's important, if you understand how that will improve your life, I am the best person to help you in that journey. And for those people who don't understand what it is, who are just want to remain losers and just spend the next 5-10 years going to the gym before they build muscle, and then realize that they have no cool stories to talk to girls about, and then they're still chasing the girl. It's like, yeah, good luck to you, whatever. But that is it for today. I hope you enjoy yourselves, and see you next time.